And so our enrollment is up. Our summer enrollment is well up. I'm not even worried about that anymore. Looks good. 679 students. Our billable hours, everything is well in the right direction and recovering in a great way. Our fall numbers are up, but when we dig down into them, it's a little bit interesting. We really need to talk about what we need to do to go after our continuing students, because once again, they are down. So our retention numbers are not where we want them to be. Our overall recruitment numbers are positive. And so we can talk more about that online as we start. It's still early, obviously, in the process, but that's where we are at for fall enrollment right now. So we're up nicely, but we are really not in the continuing area. So we will want to talk about that. And I will turn it over to Tracy.
Applications are up from last year. As of last night, they have 852 applications for fall semester, and compared to last year's totals of 1157. So I think we are doing very well with applications. And then the rest of the data that Ryan had asked me to present is pretty much what you just covered, Scott. Summer enrollment is up 27% per head count. And then fall enrollment right now is up 7% per head count. So that's.
Do you know if that the applications, is it actually high school applications that are up, or are they reconnect and stuff like that? Because
I think, yeah, I don't think he differentiated. I think this is the total.
Yeah, because I kind of suspect that's reconnect. It's not as much high school. So
I agree with that. So my team has been working hard. Our WIGs are to increase graduation rates as well as retention. I wanted to show this from winter only because I'm still tracking it. We are going after students who have undecided pathways, which we've identified as students with an AS or undecided, who are taking courses outside of general education courses. So we started out in February with 671 students, and as of yesterday, we have 589 students in that category. So within a very short time, and we have made a difference, a 12% change. So I think that was encouraging to my staff that, hey, we did we sent a letter out, sent a text, and this is happening and things are moving. So I think we will continue with some extra outreach starting for fall semester with this group of students. So I just wanted to share that because it was sort of encouraging to my team that the things that they're doing are making a difference. This is also winter data only because I don't have the fall data yet, but we are going to be implementing an alert system next week for students who are taking courses outside of their path of study, and we will be reaching out to them. And I would imagine the numbers are probably going to be similar, but we're going to attack these and start reaching out to them weekly. So I would imagine that those numbers are going to be much lower for next semester, and we have a plan in place. I have a reporting system in place, and we're hoping to start doing that next week. In addition to that effort, we are prepared to send out our first 15-hour audit letters after grades are posted for winter semester. So, and we plan on doing that every semester. So I think that effort will make a big difference in this as well. And that's also going to be, it's one of Ryan's tactics in the strategic plan. So we have that taken care of.
This is fantastic work, Tracy.
Thank you. So moving on, the other thing that we're tracking are FDIAC retention rates from fall to fall and fall to winter. And this will hopefully help us with those continuing numbers. We are making a plan to reach out to them on a regular basis. Right now, it looks like we only have 12% of students enrolled from fall enrolled for fall 2021. So we definitely want to make that number increase tremendously. I think our next effort besides all of the things that Joe has already done, is that I'm planning on texting this group of students next week, letting them know, like, let's get registered before winter semester ends. So I'm hoping that, and we're probably going to make some phone calls next week too, regarding that group of students and help encouraging them to apply prior to winter semester ending. So
Tracy, would you send something out to faculty as well, to the advisors?
Oh, sure.
And let them know again who their students are, and to ask them to do a reach out, and then I'll follow up with that as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's all I have. Thank you.
Dr. Culler. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, let me.
And happy anniversary for the record.
Thank you. We are tracking our FAFSA completion data, and we are well up in 2021-22 FAFSAs compared to the prior year. So that continues to just increase, which is really great. Our next effort, as soon as Allison returns from vacation the first week of May, is we have a lot of FAFSAs in. Now we really need to start tackling making sure that students whose FAFSAs were selected for verification by the Department of Ed, that we're really being proactive to help them get their documentation turned into us early so that we have a fully complete file. So that is definitely going to be taking place starting in May. Our Michigan Reconnect applications continue to look really good. Very interesting. The groups that we're really interested in would be that lighter green down at the bottom and the dark blue, because these are the people who have complete files, and we have either been able to award the Reconnect or they have other gift aids such as Pell Grant that's covering their costs in full. There are 215 of those students. We have gotten 88 of them to enroll for summer. But this does show us that there is a group of students who probably registered and applied for Reconnect really early, anticipating that their start semester might be fall instead of summer. So I think that this is a really engaged group that we need to make sure that we start doing some extra outreach to them to encourage them to move forward with making sure they get registered for fall semester early. So I'll be working with Ryan on those efforts. And then for our Reconnect applicants for the summer semester, is interested in taking a look to see how many of these are students who were enrolled with us in the winter semester and are continuing on in summer. How many of these students are brand new to MCCC, and how many of these students are stop outs that we are now re-engaging? So you can see 41% of these students are continuing from winter. So more than 50% are people who are either brand new or we are re-engaging them to continue their education. So you can really see the benefits of the Reconnect program, how important this program is for our adult learners. I think that we're going to see people who stopped out and maybe thought that they never had an option to complete the degree, and this is really opening up a path. So we want to keep up that momentum. So that is my very first report.
Those stop outs are just fantastic. I mean, that's a whole new retention piece that money is allowing students to return to college.
It really is. And one of the things that one of the pieces of information that we have access to through the MISSG system, this is a financial aid system through the state of Michigan. So it's only those individuals in my office who are granted access to it by the state. They do provide us information from the student's application that will show us the reason that the student, if they had ever been in college before, why they stopped out. Unfortunately, they don't give it to us in a report that we can download. We have to detail in and look at each individual student application. But knowing that summer is a shortened semester, knowing that these students may have had challenges before, I think it's worth taking the time to be able to go and do that and then match these students with a success coach right from the start.
I like it. Let's talk more.
Yep, we'll work on that.
Yep. Joe Verkenis, how are you doing, sir?
I am good. I will share my screen. Yep. So our wildly important goal, again, is for my department has been really to create awareness of this Michigan Reconnect program with the audience that it's intended for, and increase the web traffic by 350% by June 1. So where do we stand? Well, our goal was to increase the number from roughly 1,374 up to 4,809 in terms of unique page views, which are really visits to that particular site, our Reconnect section of the homepage of the website. We're at 4,189. So we are really about 600 away. We're very, very close. We've got about a month, just over a month to go. But if we actually got 124 unique page views per week for the next 5 weeks, we'll reach our goal. And that's really where we've been at, about 250 to 300 almost weekly. There are, weekends aren't as high, but the weekdays we're usually doing something during the week to make it happen. And now we've got a full-fledged campaign for both registration and Michigan Reconnect. I've kind of divided it 50% Michigan Reconnect, 50% registration and enrollment program pushes out there right now all over the place. And I wanted to share, I won't get in this time with all of the tactics they're doing. It's a long list, and many of them are completed and many continue. But I wanted to share this slide, and I hope it's big enough for folks to see it. And actually, I can kind of increase the size here. So this is a Google Analytics report that I can pull and get pretty specific about where the folks came from to get to the Michigan Reconnect site that's on our homepage. This is our homepage, monroeccc.edu/reconnect. You can see that a majority of these page views, and these are the overall page views, we'll just go with these because they're the boldest and easiest to see, are coming direct or through Google organic searches. Those are really, really good, but these are being driven by our advertising, our promotion, our public relations. They've got to be finding out about it somewhere, because really the initial message came from the state, and the job has been up to us to really get the word out. So this is through word of mouth. This is through things like you mentioned earlier, Scott, banners, everything we're throwing at it. Even if they saw it online, they may not have gone directly. So and clicked through. So that's a lot. And then the Ad Taxi custom email here is an email that we do where we purchase email lists, and we did one that was specific to reconnect people that met that exact demographic. We can purchase a list like that. And we've also done lists to people that are outside that, and like 100,000 people would get an email about registration, but we've embedded the reconnect message in there. So you can see 21% have come from those emails, so they're very important. But all these other things are important as well. This here is called Google/CPC. That's cost per click, and Centro Display. These have really just started up in the last, I want to say, week or so. So we've already gotten 76 click-throughs from Google. That's the search and display network. So if you search Reconnect or you search Monroe County Community College, you're going to get served. You may get served, depending on where you live, an ad that's those ads that appear above when you do a Google search. They look like it just says ad, but it looks like it's text format. So Centro Display is when you go to a website and you get served ads based on your psychographics and your demographics based on who you are and what you've searched. So those are really interesting. And then you can see all the other ones. These are Yahoo Organic. Those are, again, people who are searching through Yahoo. Then you see the other things like February 2021, April 2021, March 2020. These are all social campaigns that we put out on Facebook where we have ads that are running, and you can see those. So it's really neat to see where those are coming from, but it also guides our strategy on what we're doing in terms of promoting. We know what's working and what's not. And that's really all I have for today.
Great job. You guys have set an outlandish goal, and you've blown it away. That was really interesting to me. The amount of time spent on the website from the Yahoo clicks was 7 minutes plus.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that. I'm glad that you brought that up. By far, this is the most we're seeing. I love the time spent on page. I mean, people are spending 4 to 5 minutes on this Michigan Reconnect page, and really, it's one page. It's chock full of information, but they're really diving in, and we don't see that a lot. Even when we do the Ad Taxi, what it was called, those are those unsolicited emails to lists that we purchase. The time spent usually on those when we're pushing registration would be like 21 seconds or whatever. They're like, okay, I got this email, I'm going to click. Those are up to even 1 minute, and I've never seen those kind of numbers before with unsolicited emails. 1 minute is pretty long for anybody to sit on a web page after they've clicked from an unsolicited email, so I'm pretty happy.
This is great work, you guys. We'll take it offline now, and I'm very pleased. And I want to throw a special shout out to Valerie and your team. I have totally recognized the amount of hours you guys are putting in over there and the work, and I'm very appreciative. Know that it is not unnoticed. Okay, we'll take this offline.